Welcome to Action HOA. My name's Dave. I'm going to go through a scenario that we saw recently online. You can see right here, I've got the screen centered. Attorney Tim Anderson. This was about 6 days ago. There's a lot of noise on this particular issue. His HOA cited him a notice of landscaping violation. So this is the response letter. I don't actually see the complaint letter, but this is what we do at Action HOA is we help people resolve these issues using artificial intelligence to review legal documents and notices, and then give you an opinion based off of really, really good solutions. So for this one, it's pretty funny. HOAs can be bullies. Yesterday, I received a letter fussing about flowers. He may drum a response. So he had a really sarcastic response, which is good. Sometimes this is necessary in order to get attention back. Other times it comes back worse because people get mad or they think you're showboating them or something. So it can go one or two ways. He's an attorney. He knows what he's doing. I trust his judgment on it. It might even bring attention to the situation and highlight the fact that he's made 3 other requests for a chimney cap repair. So it received notice of landscaping violation related to plants being in the ground instead of in pots. Never been advised this was in a covenant or concern as those plants have been there for years. So they're saying it's established precedent. It's been like that for a while. So a letter was dated September 25th. It demanded remediation by September 29th, so 4 days. Received a letter for the first time today on October 1st. So received the letter after it was due, even with a short period notice for an issue. So let's figure out what his problem is, right? We will work on removing the plants. So he's not arguing that they shouldn't be there. So he probably reviewed the documents already. He's an attorney. He can probably search in these and kind of figure it out. However, I've made 3 requests for the chimney cap on the unit to be repaired and replaced throughout 2024. It is dented and in disrepair. I find it interesting that plants are a concern to the association, but not necessary building improvements. But necessary building improvements are not. So this is a common thing about prioritizing with these different boards. You have different pieces that aren't communicating. Should I send a violation notice to your office? He's being sarcastic with us, right? I'll have the plants removed within 30 days, which is reasonable, which is different to that. But it might depend on the particular CCNRs on what is considered reasonable or what is standard under the CCR. So those are typically things you have to do. This individual knows what he's doing, right? So nothing I'm going to say here is going to improve his position. What I would like to do is show you, if it was me, how I would use certain technology to address this situation. So that's the letter. We're going to kind of go into it. So we're pretty much going to focus on 2 main things: whether or not there is a violation for having the plants in the ground instead of in plant pots. And then the second issue is why haven't they responded to the chimney repair, which can be a water penetration issue. If it's penetrating your house, it can rust things out, cause water damage, mildew, mold, abatement. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong for that, or a fire hazard, or it could be both. So, and he's made 3 requests with still nothing. So first one, if he's in fact in violation and what the remedy might be. The second one, why haven't they fixed it and how I can motivate them too. So we're going to go here to my command center. I'm going to exit the screenshot right there and make this go full screen so we can see what's going on. This is the main page on it. This is the dashboard. I'm going to go to my documents. The first thing you have to do is upload your CCNRs here. It takes everything from contextualization purposes. It takes big picture, state, federal, local zoning ordinances, health codes and everything, renders them all down. But the most important thing is your CCNRs, and that's your agreement with your covenants or restrictions with your particular HOA. We're going to contextualize these documents. I'm going to put in my city, Chesapeake, Virginia. What this does is it helps you identify where you need to prioritize. So instead of contextualizing all the information in the US, it focuses on something that's relevant and pertinent to your situation. I'm going to just select them all because these are all our bylaws, amendments, fence notifications, and any of that might be included. I'm going to remove Green Castle because that's a different place. I'm going to do general contextualization. Actually, we are focusing on maintenance. Both of these kind of fall under maintenance. Maintenance is more important to me in this sense, so we're going to just do that. It's save changes, and it's going to start contextualizing. What it's doing, it's getting rid of all the other stuff. It's getting rid of Joe's podcast. It's getting rid of Frank's Reddit post. It's getting rid of Sarah's Facebook post. It's getting rid of all the things that artificial intelligence typically hallucinates with. And it's rendering it down to real, actual, practical, implemented policies that are up to date, current, and useful for this particular situation. So you're not spending hours and hours digging through this HOA document, trying to find these provisions and go from there. So boom, contextualization up to date. You can see that here in the corner. We're going to go to work. So we're going to start off with what provision in my CC&R states that I can't have plants in the ground, only in pots. Generally speaking, this is a landscaping issue. The CC&Rs or the common areas are responsible for landscaping, and because of that, they control it. So the provision in your CC&Rs that may indicate restrictions on planting include the following. So it brought up the section right here: owners shall not plant any shrubs. Mind you, this is my CC&R, not his, right? But this is how he could do it using this technology. So it brings it up. So that's the issue. Shall not be planted in any open space without any prior approval. So let's say you want to do this. So they don't plant it. If I already planted some, how do I go about getting retroactive permission? Now, what it's doing is taking that contextualized data and it's saying, hey, how would you go about petitioning the board to get retroactive permission right here? So this would be a variance request. Review the request, draft a formal letter to HOA, includes this. All right, so let's say my plants are zinnias. Can you draft me a letter to submit to the HOA for what's the word, the magical words they look for here? Review variance. Can you draft me a variance request letter to submit to the HOA for my flowers? And this is the part that some people, the hardest part is to get started with a lot of this, right? And we talk about taking action. So I'm a strategy session coordinator, so I help people work through their kinks, whether their documents aren't readable or they can't upload them, or how to ask the right questions if things just aren't working out. But so here's the sample letter. That's the letter you submit. So let's go into the second issue. So we resolved the flower issue. We're going to ask if we can do that, and then you can accelerate it from there. Obviously, you can critique this and refine it, but normally starting with something is better than anything. So the second issue, how can I inspire my HOA to make the necessary repairs to my chimney cap, which is pitted? What it's going to do is going to look at these CC&Rs. It's going to look at safety codes. It's going to look at homeowners association acts. It's going to look at all of these different things to figure out the best angle to approach it. Reach out to board members, gather support from neighbors, prepare formal requests, offer solutions, attend the next HOA meeting, all these things. Refer to legal obligations if needed. Remind the board of their obligation of government documents. Okay. Under my CC&R, how do I force my board to make the chimney repairs in a formal yet professional way? So if you need to accelerate, obviously 3 requests with his particular situation isn't enough. So gather evidence, review documents to formally and professionally compel your HOA board to make any necessary chimney repairs. Oh, look, it even drafted me a letter. Like, draft a formal letter. This is what the letter looks like. It already did it for me. It's pretty intuitive. It's pretty smart. We've been working really hard on this for a long time, and the new AI engines have just made this, it just knocks out of the ballpark. So gather evidence, review the governing documents, identify relevant documents the outlay maintenance. HOA, for example, section 9.1 states that HOA has a duty to maintain the property. Okay. And 18.1 is sourcing that document. So if you go into the actual document, it'll show page 18, line 1. That's just how we did it in-house because it's the only uniform way to do it. Draft a formal letter, use a professional tenure letter. Here's the sample. If I have made 3 attempts to get them to fix it, what is the next level of next level? What's a better way to word this? What is the next best thing to do? How about that? You can have a conversation with this, okay? You made 3 attempts. Consider the following. Document your attempts. Okay, review the governing documents, formally request a meeting, bring support to neighbor, create a written petition, consider escalating, engaging attorney, requesting mediation, attend HOA meetings, explore alternative channels. How would I document that the damage is acquiring repair? Take detailed photographs, make a written observation, date your observations, document the conversation communications, engage in a professional by having an inspector, compile everything into a single file and create a summary document. Can you draft me a summary document? But he's already gotten to this point. Now, mind you, this is anything any of y'all can do. For us at Action, it's all about empowering people to have the tools at their fingertips to hold HOA organizations accountable using transparency and technology. That's it. It's super, super simple. Is it free? No, it's not free. It's really, really hard to develop this stuff, and we got to pay our bills. So, but it is super useful. It's way cheaper than an attorney, and it's lifetime access for $200. So I think that's a really good deal. It works with even with zoning ordinances, other documents. This is a great example. Now, let's say this is your plan right here, right? This is how we're going to document everything. Or how about this? You made 3 attempts. You can hit right here, save your action. You can click on your action plans over here. You can readdress it at any time. You can pull it up, print it, save it, email it, put it on the wall, and then follow it. Because ultimately, Action HOA is about helping you take action and giving you the tools you need to make things better in your community and in your life, and probably one of the most important assets of your life, and that's your home. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate y'all learning from this. If you've got any questions, feel free to reach out. If you want to sit on a strategy session, we're here to educate and empower people, and look forward to meeting you. And we're out.